Welcome back to the question and answer session here for Captain's Table with Missgabiz and JFishmedia. Welcome. If you missed the last episode where we talked about Jumptown and like kind of what Star Citizen is like right now in 2022, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm pointing towards the right above Gabs. You'll see the link to the last episode, and you click that and go watch that first and come back here. If you're watching this live on YouTube or live on Twitch, just go back and this is a live playback. You can do that. All right. So with that being said, let's answer some questions. So these are all questions that are asked by the chat that we answer live to. My English is not good right now. Words. So let's get started with the first question. Gin and Tonic asked, one of the cooler things about JT was seeing the A2s try and bomb the place, and the fighter cap shooting the bombs down before they could get to the ground. However, I think it was too easy. The bombs fall too slowly and don't seem to accelerate like they should. Do you think this should be tweaked? It's a good question. What do you think, Gabs?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I honestly, with my org, I had one member or two members, I think, shoot the bombs before it dropped, and it will like kill the Hercules, and it was amazing to watch that. But yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess they should drop a bit faster. They are probably gonna change it.
What do you think,
It's the first time we have bombs.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I'm going to give you the hyper-realistic nerd answer to this question.
Okay.
Are those weapons propelled? If they are propelled, they should drop faster. If they are not propelled, if they are a dumb bomb, they fall at whatever the rate of gravity is at that point. So, theoretically, wherever you are, depending on the gravity, is how fast the bomb should drop. So if they want to make it a propelled bomb, yes, it should be faster. It should fall at a steady rate. But if it's not, if it is a dumb bomb, they do not accelerate, then no, they are going to fall at whatever rate of atmospheric interference there is and gravity. As a nerd answer to that question.
Yes. They'll fall at whatever the max acceleration is. Mm-hmm. I think that they can just, for game purposes, yeah, they should probably fall faster. I could also see something like they're planning on making a size 3 bomb. They've said that in the latest update, latest monthly update. They were talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna make a size 3 bomb. There's nothing that can hold it yet, but just for fun, we made it. And it's like, oh yeah, great. Why don't you just tell us you made another bomber that we know is coming?
Cluster bombs.
Yeah,
I want a cluster bomb, a Yeti. That's just me though.
Cluster bomb a Yeti.
Yes, that is what I want to do.
You don't want to go fisting boreal stalkers, get into a fist fight.
No, cluster bomb. Level everything.
All right. But yeah, no, I think speeding up probably would help a little bit. But we're also, this is the first time we had bombs, so it's fine for what it is. And I think being able to shoot bombs out of the air is still probably a good viable strategy, because it's probably the only defense, and you need to know what you're doing. It's pretty easy, but fisting, it's an old joke. It's an old joke about hand-to-hand fighting a boreal stalker. All right, it's ask next time you see chat, and if you're watching this on YouTube, ask HC Vertigo what his safe word is. That's all. He'll get the joke. Okay. All right. Let's next go to the next question from Gin and Tonic, who asks, talking about the state of the game in 2022. When's the last time you had a 30K? I did have one 30K the last time I played, but it was just one. How about you, JFish? When was the last time you had it?
I honestly don't remember. At least 3 weeks ago. Okay. That'd be, if I had to venture a guess. It's so few and far between that is not a memorable experience anymore.
Gabs, when's the last time you had a 30K?
Yeah, same. I don't know, forever ago. I don't even remember. Yeah.
All right, yeah. I remember it because I kind of try to keep those things in my mind, like about them, like how infrequent they are now. But yeah, I think it was like once. All right, next question comes from Space Tomato. It says, question for Paul. Will there be poop in the game? That's a shitty question, Space Tomato.
Hey!
According to CIG, yeah. Like I have a full routine on the roadmap for hygiene.
Wait,
And-
actually?
Yes,
Poor man. and
For
poor
real.
woman who had to mocap taking a dump.
yeah. At least for
I'm just-
NPCs. So
Yeah, I'm just waiting to be able to build bases. That's gonna be amazing.
Oh,
when
please,
when
give
when
it
the
to me.
raid when the raid happens and you're stuck on the toilet because your character had to poop, so you're just like, oh god, what do I do? You're in the middle of a shower and a bomb starts dropping. You hear air raid sirens, like running out with a towel, getting into your ship to fly it around. You know?
Hey, that is the thing right now. If you think
Yeah.
about it, if you are in an active theater
Yeah.
and you having to go to the washroom doesn't change. So yeah, it happens.
There we
Such
go.
is life. We want our full immersion. All right.
Next question comes from Hey It's Nick, who asks, what future gameplay mechanic that is not in the game yet are you most looking forward to? Start with you guys on this one.
Oof. Pod racing for sure. Also building bases in game. That's gonna be awesome.
Fish.
Cargo refactor. Please.
The hardcore
Give it to
cargo,
me.
the hard cargo hauler wants cargo
Yeah,
refactor.
give
That's
me
a
cargo missions.
surprise.
Give me
Yeah.
cargo missions dependent upon SCU. So the size of your ship, and if you've got X size, you can carry X amount of cargo. You have these missions available to you, so on and so forth. Give me that.
I'm going to say something similar, but it's the change of everything over from being arbitrary to being quanta. So like the missions being more quanta based, so they're more dynamic. So depending on like what something wants, and also like your reputation mattering. Like reputation right now is good. It's a nice, like the way they implemented it is good, but I want more.
It's a game changer.
I want reputation to be like people going, all right, well, I've reached the maximum reputation I can do without going to jail. Time to go to jail and just have some fun, like going absolutely nuts with as big of crime spree as you possibly can. So you get, because you're going to get caught and you're thrown in jail and you got to spend the next ever so many hours grinding reputation so you can get that next level with the syndicate or whatever, like that kind of stuff. When the game actively encourages you to go to jail, criminal players to go to jail, and those criminal players are looking forward to it. That is when what I'm looking forward to. That's what I want, something like that. So,
Yeah.
all right. Next question comes from Zombie Bombi, who asks, why did they make the quad? Was there a gap in the ship lineup? Is it a cash grab, or is it a training piece for new artists / devs? What do you think, JJ Fish?
Hold on, the quad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, so the new consolidated Outland quad hover bike.
Oh, okay. To show off, they redid GravTech, so they're like, here's a bike that you're never gonna use, at least in the near time. So yeah, that money, sure.
Okay,
That's my
someone.
guess.
Someone in chat said I needed a top hat, so I decided I had to pull out one
Where's
of my
your
many
monocle?
hats.
I love
broke
your
it.
hat, Paul.
Thank you.
I approve.
Come on down to the greatest show on earth.
Are you gonna start singing The Greatest Showman? Please do.
Yes.
Just no further. All right, from now on.
So I'll say, why did they make the quad? Because they were reworking the Grav Lev and they thought it would be cool. That's why they had time.
My guess.
It took them like probably a month to make it, and they're probably waiting. That team that was working on it was probably waiting. Maybe it's a training thing. I don't know. It's just like the answer with any ship. It's like, why did they make this ship? And the actual answer is, why not? That or it's in Squadron.
Money.
Those are the two options. Yeah.
Money
Yeah.
is the reason,
Keep money.
because they can sell it and people
Yeah.
will buy it. Or yeah, as you said, it's needed for Squadron 42. So
Yeah.
here you go.
Yeah. And you joke about the college interns project. They do have interns. CIG does hire interns. So, if you work for the right people, you may be able to go work for CIG as an intern.
Oh.
Gabs, why do you think they made the quad?
Honestly, no opinion. I don't know much about it. I just like the bikes, and hopefully, like we get like a mission or something where we can actually use it more, because people don't really have a reason to use them right now. So, I no comment.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like the only ground vehicles I care about are meme vehicles. Like I want a taco truck. So like
all meme vehicles at this point, you can't do anything with them.
That's true,
They're
but like they actually have future gameplay purposes. Like I was super excited for the Tonk because it's a Tonk. It's a tank.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tank in a space game. It's great.
It's awesome, but there's no
there's no purpose.
If we have FPS
There's no purpose
battles,
for it. Yeah.
It's awesome,
Yeah.
and it rolls back to actually something that Gab said that really cool, right? If you've got something like Jump Town, right, where you're in a one of the locations is not flight accessible, you have now introduced first-person shooter PvP gameplay into this game in a natural environment where you can lock down an area and have an assaulting force. You can have Overwatch coming through with A10s, running the old Infernos, running A10 gun runs. You can all sorts of fun stuff like that. It's just other than that, it's just memes.
Yeah. All right, Commander Dixie. This is for JFish. JFish in Discord. Do you have who says?
I was just trying to fix my audio.
Yeah, in Discord, do you have automatically determined input sensitivity enabled because it likes to bounce around? Yeah.
I turned it off.
Yeah. All right. Completed that one. Little Ball of Purr asks, if they end up adding pets, what pet do you most want on your ship? Gabs, what do you think?
Oof.
Real or imagined? It can be any
Can I have
pet.
a dragon?
There we go.
No?
That probably exists in Star Citizen's universe. If it doesn't, someone's probably going to make it now. It's a dragon.
Give me a dragon CIG.
I want a space monkey. not a monkey that's like from a different planet. So like, that's her, space monkey. That's my answer. What do you think?
I want a cat. Just give me a cat.
Just want a cat? Just a cat. Not a space cat, just a regular cat.
No, just cat.
Just cat.
Tuxedo kitty, and I'm happy. Can I give you a Dungeons and Dragons critical role reference? Can I give you Mister? Give you the fire elemental monkey running around your ship.
Oh, there we go. That's there we go.
Because fire in space, what could go wrong, right?
And CIG loves its fire. If you've been seeing, following everyone, they love them fires. All right. Next question comes from Cupan, who asks, what are your thoughts on the Aegis Redeemer, Paul's favorite ship, Kappa? Gabs, you may not be introduced to my hate cult of the Redeemer, but I hate the Redeemer.
Well, I think you tweeted about that. I think I said, I posted a tweet like, yo, I really love the Redeemer. And Paul was like,
I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
Oh yeah, you said that, and I was like, what?
It's a long story. I have to go through it every time, but the basic concept is I don't like it because its lore doesn't match up. Its style and lore not lore, but like its style doesn't match up with its what it's supposed to be. It doesn't really fit, and it was chosen over many other ships that I thought were going to be good. It feels like a ship that was built by committee, rather than a ship that was built for Star Citizen. It was built to win a contest, which is what it was. But
that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, that's why I don't like it.
100%. Literally what it was. It was built to win a contest. I mean, as a ship, it's fine. It's fun. I like it. You get some friends on it, and you can go murder, death, kill things. Awesome. Cool. Try hard, Chad Wagon. There you go. I like that.
Yeah, honestly, since I do a lot of community stuff, like almost every stream I play with my viewers. So it's really nice to grab the Redeemer and just like, because it's not that big, like before, if I wanted to do like, if I wanted to do something with my viewers, bounties or anything, I will have to grab the Hammerhead, and that's like a huge ship. Like you have to like, it's really hard to get like all the angles for the turrets. And I mean, the pilot needs to be really, really good, to get the angles right. Also, is my camera lagging? Or is
It might be. Give me a moment. Let me refresh.
okay. Sorry, but yeah, the Redeemer is kind of small and kind of perfect, for that. Like, I really enjoy the Redeemer. I'm sorry, Paul. Maybe our friendship is gonna depend on this, but I like the Redeemer.
It's okay. It's okay.
I don't like flying it. I just like being a turret. I don't like flying it. It feels like super heavy, but like I love the Redeemer.
Oh, see, I love flying. I don't. No, let me get the pilot seat. I don't want to be in a turret. Let me fly it. The Tally is also really good for that too.
Yeah.
It's a smaller ship. The Redeemer, at least for me, will edge out a Tally from a pilot standpoint, just because I've got more access to weapons. This is where we bring up the Corsair and all the amazing forward-facing weapons.
I will say this. The fact that, so for those who don't know, the Corsair is, okay, I say it's almost done. It's probably not almost done, but the Corsair could be released based off its current position, like within the next patch. Not 3.16.1, but like 3.17. It could be released in 3.17.
I still say Fleet Week. It just makes too much sense from a marketing standpoint and a money-making standpoint, which they love to do because it makes sense. Drake Day on Fleet Week. There's your Corsair.
Yeah. There we go. Gabs, what do you think about Corsair? Have you seen it? I'm now picking up everything that JFish is doing. Hold on.
Nope.
Go ahead. You're good. Go ahead, Gabs.
No, I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? Look it up.
No.
Look it up.
Oh, it's amazing.
Okay.
Look it up real quick. We'll do a live reaction.
Guns.
It's the Drake Corsair.
And I hate Drake.
Yeah.
My chat knows I hate Drake so much, except for the Corsair.
Look, so it's called the Drake Corsair. Look it up and know that it's supposed to be an exploration ship.
Yeah, it's exploring something.
Oh, I think I have seen it.
Yeah.
It's just not exploring what you think it is.
It's interesting.
It's ugly as sin. I love it.
You know, it's great. I mean, Drake is ugly. Okay, Drake
not
in
my
general
style.
is ugly.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. All right. Let's move on to the next question, which is Old Monkey asks, do you think there will ever be a global chat, for example, in very remote locations or systems? Oh, do you ever think there will not be a global chat in various locations? I think so. I don't think we will. I think the global chat is just a legacy thing right now that will go away when they have bigger systems. Because I can't imagine a global chat existing in the Star Citizen universe the way it's like built. It doesn't seem like a thing that would happen. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's too hard to tell. So you're gonna have system chat then? Like if you're in Pyro?
I guess so.
You can see, like, it's so hard to tell because we only have one thing. We only have Stanton. So, I mean, sure, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
What do you think, Gabs? Do you think we're going to see global chat forever?
Yeah, for sure.
You think so?
Yeah, they are probably gonna integrate, like, I don't know if you guys played Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah.
I think if I remember correctly, or maybe it was another MMORPG. I don't remember. But you could go through tabs, depending on where you were. You know, if you wanted like global or just like in the place you were at. We are probably gonna get that when we have server meshing.
Okay.
Maybe,
New World
hopefully.
has something like that too, where it's that same thing where you're talking, and someone else brought it in chat. At least it makes it shard chat, right? So whatever shard you're on has that interaction, and you can kind of filter it down to less amounts, for the lack of a better term.
I don't know. I think global chat will probably go the way of the dodo. I think it'll probably end up being like local chat and maybe system chat, but we'll see.
Oh, I need party chat because I get really confused, like pressing tab, like trying to find the party tab, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there definitely needs. I think there definitely needs to be a system rework, and I think CIG even knows that about like the chats as well, just in general. But all right, next question comes from Cordath, who asks, "Do you think we will see space whales this year?"
Yes.
I hope so. I don't think so, but I hope so.
Maybe.
What do you think? Maybe.
I think we will.
It really depends on AI and serviceability. That's the
Right.
question. Because
I'll just
it's like NPCs in like bunker missions lag servers. So like what'll depend on is if we're going to see like server meshing implemented into the game before something like that happens. So yeah.
Yeah, there's things that are dependent upon it happening first. I think that's just critters, for the lack of a better term, in general. You can get server meshing first and then see how those things go. Because again, that is what is going to influence server stability and server resources. So, what is it? I think they claim Q3, Q4 for our first iteration of server meshing.
Yeah, that was the last thing they said about it. So,
which will be a dumpster fire. Just for the record, it's gonna be a dumpster fire. It is what it is. I mean, with anything, it's just gonna be you first put it in, and it goes to the masses. It's gonna be a dumpster fire. Then they see it and they fix it. If they don't fix it, then you have an issue.
yeah. All right, let's go to the next question. We'll start with you, Gabs, on this one. What is your favorite ship?
Can chat guess? I'm kidding. I guess the Gladius.
The Gladius?
I'm waiting for the Scorpius. Maybe
Okay.
it's gonna replace the Gladius, but right now it's the Gladius.
JFish, favorite ship?
C2. So C2 easily. I absolutely love the C2.
I am going to I'm gonna weasel out in this question because my favorite ship line is the Freelancer. I don't think there's a better line. There's not a better ship line in the game because it is versatile. It has good range. It has, but like the problem with the Freelancer is you have to choose a Freelancer. So like, if you want a good cargo ship that's gonna have good range and
max.
Is the max. If you want a good exploration ship, you've got the Dur. You want something with a little bit more teeth. If you just want to fire stupid amounts of anime missiles at somebody, you have the Miss, and you have the base for the. Just for more generic all around. So the actual answer is even more upsetting to most people, which is the Cutlass.
No.
I like it. I approve.
It's fine. My problem with the Freelancer is I don't like how it flies.
Yeah,
It just doesn't feel good to fly.
it feels
That's my issue with that. It feels very clunky.
yeah, it feels like a bus, and I'm okay with it because it looks like a bus, and its advantages once you figure out how to fly. Ooh, Gab's in a snowstorm. Let me fix that real quick.
Yeah.
That's the only one
boy.
problem. That's the only problem about OBS Ninjas, that sometimes it does that. It when you when you figure out how to fly it, it feels okay. You just kind of forget that it looks like that. But the reason why I like the Cutlass is because it's one of those ships that just feels good all around, and it is the perfect example of the lore and the game seamlessly merging. Because the Cutlass sucks.
Yeah, it does.
It's garbage. It's literally recycled. One of my favorite quotes is from the pilot's video. Go watch it if you haven't seen it already. Anybody who's watching this, the pilot, he did a video on the Cutlass. He starts off his video by saying, "This ship is a bastard," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's what a Cutlass is. It's a bastard. That's what it is."
It's aesthetically so bad.
Not only aesthetically, it looks like you're gonna get tetanus from it.
Yes.
It looks like it's gonna fall apart any second.
The Cutlass Red is a flying morgue.
But it does such a good. It does what it does so well, and then every time
I agree.
and once you get to the point where it's just like, this is such a good ship, and then it just stabs you in the back. Like you just die from stupid stuff that happens to it, or you fly out the back. It sucks, and I love it.
Cutlass had 2 shields. The Cuddy Black had 2 shields. It would be the perfect ship. As much as it pains me to say it, from just a solo flyer standpoint, if it had 2 shields, it would be the perfect ship. That being said, I despise that ship.
That's why I love it. That's why I love it so much. It's like sometimes it encapsulates even Star Citizen. Like I said earlier, like sometimes the game wants to do everything to make you die. And other times the game is like, this is the best experience you're ever going to have in gaming. Like that's the Cutlass to its core.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. Next question comes from His Divine Shadow. He says, long question. Do you think we are thinking about Star Citizen gameplay wrong? Because essentially it's a sandbox. And to think about like typical games might not be correct. In short, gameplay features / systems versus gameplay loops. I think most people are thinking about Star Citizen wrong because most people haven't played a game like Star Citizen.
Bro.
Ever. The last game that was even close to Star Citizen is an old game by modern standards that many of you old folks watching today here will remember, which is Star Wars Galaxies. It's the last true sandbox MMO that exists. I'm sure there are other smaller ones, but Star Wars Galaxies was popular, and so like that's the way of putting it. That's the closest that we're going. Like Star Citizen's the closest we're going to get to having that come back. So yeah, I don't think it's wrong to think about features like gameplay, gameplay loops. It's just only one part of the game, you know. Like Jumptown, great example of this. Jumptown at its core is not gameplay. You go in, you get a box, you throw it in your ship, you fly away, and you sell it. That's what the gameplay is. That's the loop. But that's not the gameplay. The gameplay is going down, throwing so many boxes that it could possibly, you can't even physically like go through your ship into the back of your ship, take off and sell it for millions of credits. Jumptown is showing up and extorting people trying to do that, saying either pay me or kill you. Jumptown is going in while people are trying to queue up to get those boxes and just murdering them all. Jumptown is showing up in ballistas and shooting down ships as they're trying to land. Jumptown is going in and killing people who are trying to stop all that stuff from happening. It's so many different things. That's the sandbox. But the loop itself is simple. I think that's the way of looking at it, is this kind of sort of things. So, what do you think? Let's start with you, Gabs. Do you think people are thinking about Star Citizen the wrong way when we think about gameplay loops versus gameplay features?
I have seen people expect like a lot from this game, and like people, like I don't see some people enjoying the game for what we have right now, and I think that's a big issue. Because like at the end of the day, we don't really know what's gonna be like the fully end version of Star Citizen, you know? Like we don't really know. So I think a lot of people, like every single person is forming like their own ideas in their head. Oh gosh, my camera is going crazy.
Okay, I fixed it. I fix.
Okay. Like a lot of people are just like thinking of what they want in the game instead of like what's gonna be what the game is gonna be. So I don't know, that's a big issue. I play it for what it is right now, so I mean I have fun playing it. Yeah, sure, I want to see more things in the future and everything, but like I don't really think like, oh, CIG should do this and do this and do this. Like, yeah, like hopefully we get like more cool stuff. But yeah, I see a lot of players make the mistake where they get their own ideas and they complain about the game because like it's not what they are expecting the game to be. So yeah, I don't know.
I think it's good. That's a great point. I've tried to make it in the past as well. Like, I think a lot of people have an idea of what this game is and don't actually play the game and are going to get disappointed when the game comes out and it's not what they think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jay, what do you think? Do you think we should be thinking in more gameplay features and systems over loops, or do you think loops are still kind of the way of looking at things?
So again, theory crafting is the devil. Okay, it really is, because you're creating a false narrative in your head at that point, and we're all guilty of doing it. But it's going to lead to disappointment. Again, you have to go into things with the proper mindset of what you're doing. Again, you are playing an alpha. You're playing a game that is going to be ever changing. You're not playing a finished product. So I understand people being like, okay, I want more gameplay loops. I want things to be different. All right, I understand that, but things have to come in when they come in, and we test them as they come in. And as we go along, we're going to see things change. I think when you see things like the cargo refactor come in, and the physicalization of cargo, and the ability to transfer cargo back and forth between players, opens up a whole new world of what you're able to do with the game that leads to more organic gameplay loops within the structure of what we have in the game.
Okay. I agree. Let's just say that. All right, we got plenty more questions. I've kind of paused the questions for now because we've got enough questions to get us through the rest of this time. Hey, it's Nick asks
a quick moment, so
go for it.
Right back.
Go for it. Hey Nick. Hey, it's Nick asks, what current gameplay mechanic? What current gameplay mechanic that is currently in would you like to see tweaked, updated, or changed completely? And what would those changes be? Gabs, what do you think?
I think I already said it today. The flight model, the speed,
Okay.
for sure. And VSync, but
yeah. I personally, this is one of my biggest. I hate the crime system. I've always hated the CS system. I think the CS system is dumb. I think it's way too. Not that like the system is bad, but like I hate that you have this little. You are wanted by this much in the system. Like I don't care. That shouldn't.
yes.
It's stupid. It's immersion breaking, and it doesn't fit with what the game should be in my mind, which is much more based off of the reputation. Like, because if you're wanted for crimes in Pyro, no one in like Stanton should care. It's not their jurisdiction. It's completely different. So I just don't like that system. I'd like to see it completely gone and completely moved to a new system, which I hope CIG's work on, but
Also talking about that, I don't know if they increased the payment, but I'm not sure. I think someone mentioned it, but not really. But CIG needs to increase the payment, because it's really low. Like you go through a lot of struggle trying to hunt someone down. Like you have to chase them around all the system, and like it's kind of hard. It takes time, and the payment is not enough.
Yeah, for bounty hunting, they definitely need to. Yeah. The risk versus reward is not nearly commiserate. Yeah, I agree. All right. Shadow Clone asks, are you looking forward to creatures being added in, like the Boreal Stalker, the Storm Walls, and such? JFish, what do you think? What are you looking forward to creatures? Are you looking forward to creatures being added?
Yes. Okay. Again, more immersion, more interesting things to explore and see in the verse. So yes.
What's your favorite creature that they're adding that you know of?
I have to go with the Boreal Stalker. As much as I want to go ahead and see what happens when I run a Inferno against a Space Whale, Boreal Stalker.
Gabs, are you looking forward to creatures? And if so, what creatures that you know of are you looking forward to?
Yes, for sure. That's gonna change the whole gameplay that we have right now. It's gonna be like super fun. I feel like like when we have creatures, like people are gonna start using bags or ground vehicles more. Because like if they just walk and like they go exploring or something, it's gonna be like super easy to come across a creature, and maybe die. So yeah, hopefully like people start using the ground vehicles, the bikes. That will be amazing, just to like fly or something, or just like be in a ground vehicles and see like a bunch of players like trying to get to a location in a ground vehicle. That will be really cool. But yeah, I mean, I think I only know about the pyro crabs. I saw a video about a bunch of creatures, but I don't remember the names.
I am with you. I am very much a pyro crab fan because
Yeah,
the idea
cool.
it's the size of the tank. Like it's huge and it has little babies that it protects. Like that's boss music playing right there. Like hunting pyro crabs and then having the biggest crab boil of all times.
Oh my god, yes.
And then we also have pyro, so that's amazing in and of itself. So
someone should bring up blind oni crabs just for those of you who don't know. There was a creature that they showed off in like the 2017 2018 CitizenCon when they introduced Lorville for the first time, and when at the end of the presentation they had these little creatures that were like almost like Metroids is what they kind of looked like from Metroid. They were kind of charging the player at the end of and they kind of ended it with a cinematic there. And that is called the Blind Oni Crab. And I love it because it literally eats trash and is filled with hydrogen. So it's a trash eating Hindenburg. And they literally eat trash and they collect in groups. So I'm waiting. I can't wait for those to go in because the first player is like, oh yeah, go exterminate. It's some mission to go exterminate the blind oni crabs in the like outside Lorville, and they're just going to go, cool, look, they're just floating there, and shoot them with like a shotgun, and the chain reaction happens, and like they all die in a fiery burning. They're like, wow, didn't know that was going to happen. That's just going to be great.
Mistakes were made.
All right, next question comes from Qpan, who asks, what's your favorite loop in game? Smuggling, but that's not really a loop. I mean, I know the answer. For JFish is going to say trading, and Gabs is going to say bounty hunting. Unless I'm wrong. Yeah.
Not hard to figure out.
You should be paying attention, Qpan. You're my mod. You should be paying attention to this.
I can give a reason why if you really want.
Go ahead. Why? Why are you so into it?
Again, so for me, cargo is a linchpin. It affects so many other things than just buying cargo here and selling it there. If you've got physical cargo and you've got the ability to transfer cargo from player A to player B, that means the pirate can come in and be a real pirate and steal my cargo. That means I need actual escorts, so that brings, again, more PvP elements. It is a linchpin pillar of Star Citizen, which is why it is the most exciting one to me.
Why do you like bounty hunting there, Gabs?
I like killing stuff.
Simple. Simple to the point. Yeah.
No, honestly, like I have always been a Star Wars fan. Like when I was a kid, my dad was a fan, so like he made me watch the movies, and since then I was like, oh my god, like I love this universe, I love Star Wars, and I always wanted to fly my own ship. I wanted to be like the greatest pilot out there and stuff, and you don't get to do that like doing like cargo missions, delivery missions. You don't get to fight, So yeah, I like just feeling like I'm an actual space pilot.
The only reason why I like smuggling is because it includes the best parts of piracy and the best parts of trading. It's like,
fair enough.
You can trade, but you're not trading anything. You're trading big, high value objects, and you don't really care where it comes from. You're just making money. It's like the absolute honest, the most honest way of trading, because you're not dealing with morality or laws. You're just making money. And as a result, it's incredibly exciting because you're breaking the law. So you have that kind of rush of like, I gotta, of piracy, of like, I'm doing something that's not supposed to happen, and I have a risk of getting caught. So I have to, my skill matters when trying to get that sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
You want to be Han Solo.
no, Han Solo sucks. He's the worst smuggler of all times. Lando is cool. All right. Because Lando ran a business. He's a businessman who also was a smuggler. I'm sorry, Gabs. I ruined. You see, this is where we actually stop being friends because.
Yeah. You don't mess with Star Wars. You don't mess with Han Solo.
All right. Next question comes from Auntie Dominic, who asks: before Star Citizen, did you play any other space games that really captured your heart? Gabs.
I played a bunch of Star Wars games. I guess like the one I really liked was Star Wars: The Old Republic. I used to play it a lot with my friends. But on PS2, I actually played. I don't remember the name, but it was like pod racing. It was only like Star Wars pod racing, and I used to spam that game when I was a kid, and I loved it. And
Have you played Squadrons? Star Wars Squadrons?
No, I actually got it, but a lot of people like complained about the game, so I'm kind of scared. It's gonna ruin my love for spaceships and everything.
If you like Star Citizen, I think you'll like Squadrons. If you at least play the single player campaign, it's really fun. So,
Okay.
it's good. It's good. Even Burks used to play it a lot. You can talk with Burks. The only problem with Squadrons is its multiplayer wasn't really patched. Like that's the biggest problem, is it wasn't really being supported. But the single player is fun. So, how about you, JFish? Did you play any space games before Star Citizen?
Nope.
No? Is it your first space game?
That was my first foray into it.
What games did you play before Star Citizen?
Escape from Tarkov.
Tarkov. Okay,
Ooh,
I was a Tarkov streamer before Star
he's a
Citizen.
hardcore player.
so no wonder you were like Jumptown. Oh baby, this is just factory all over again. Let me get my guns. No gear fear, bitch.
I'm used to just getting stepped on. Okay.
Yeah.
That's Tarkov experience. Yeah. There is no gear fear. People were freaking out about that. I was like, no, there's no gear fear here.
Awesome. Yeah. So
What about you, Paul?
I always loved space when growing up, and I played games like this is going to make me feel young to a lot of the audience, but it's also going to show my age. I remember playing the original Rogue Squadron on the N64. That was my first real like Star Wars experience and space game experience. I also remember the Shadows of the Empire on N64. That was fun too. Which a lot of people would be like, I remember the first X-wing game when that came out. When I was in my 20s or whatever in the chat. I'm just called someone out in the recording. Someone's gonna go on YouTube and be like, I feel old now. Thanks, Paul.
Back in the day.
Back. I remember playing nothing but 20-hour LAN sessions when I was in college playing X-wing, the original X-wing.
You had to walk uphill both ways.
But I do.
Oh, sorry for interrupting. Talking about X-wings, CIG, please give Scorpius. I want, please. I'm sorry, go on.
There we go. Now I know. Now I understand. Now I understand why you want the Scorpius. I get it now. Yeah.
I have to say I want one thing specifically with the Scorpius. I do own one. I want them to treat the turret in the time being before we have server blades like the Super Hornet. So where the Super Hornet, you have someone in the secondary seat, they control that turret. If not, the pilot controls everything. I hope that is what they do with the Scorpius as well, before we have server blades where we can kind of lock it in for firing forward. Give me that, and I will be happy.
I think that's what it's supposed to do. So, but I actually first started streaming under a back in my day, before Twitch allowed you to change names. You just were stuck. Whatever name you chose was stuck. So you had to make a completely new account if you wanted to change your name, unless you were really lucky and you knew people at Twitch. So I rebranded about 7 years ago now. I think 6 years ago. 6 years ago. To a brand new account. But my old account, I got started streaming Kerbal Space Program. So like, yeah, I like space. I've always liked space. Space games have been my thing. But my other secret love is survival games. Like I played the original DayZ mod and stuff like that. So I understand the Tarkov experience, the Gear Fear and all that kind of stuff. So like in my brain, like the idea of Starkov, of having a hardcore game that's like punishes you for messing up, but also is this vast space adventure makes me, that's what Star Citizen has always been to me. I'm always like, yes, please inject it into my eyeballs, please. I'd like this. So, Green Hell stream soon, maybe. All right,
it's actually quite a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's. I always like those games because of the multiplayer, though. Like Rust isn't fun alone. Rust is fun when you have people who you can run at and scream at. But,
Rust is a toxic cesspool.
Oh yeah, it's better, but it's been better in the past. All right, this next question. We got 10 questions left. 11 questions left. Right. 10 questions because one of them's a joke, and I just deleted it. Which was, what is a 30K? All right, Ionic Gecko asks.
Days.
Yeah. Now, Gabs, you have that now. Like when people come in, you'd be like, I remember when 30Ks were happening. That's what I've been around. And they're like, how long have you been here for? Less than a year. You young. Yep. I'm old now. So Ionic Gecko asks, if crime stats were removed, how would you handle committing crimes in non-monitored areas? For example, if you murder someone and an NPC witnesses it, how are others alerted to your murderous nature? I got this, because this is more directed towards me anyway, so I got this. You have to have detection. So you have to have been seen doing it, not just like you're in monitored space. It's like you have to be seen doing it. So if I lure an NPC into an alleyway and mug them and kill them, and then nothing happens. No one knows who I did it. However, that person is, if it's like an NPC versus the player, they probably will have a respawn because respawn mechanics, and they will report your crime. But that means I have a certain amount of time before I get a crime stat because I have to get reported for that crime. But the NPC, if an NPC sees you, they have to report it. Like there has to be some process for that sort of thing to happen. And it's Chris Roberts, so it's probably going to start off as, the NPC is going to go through its own logic algorithms about what it should report or shouldn't report, and then it'll go and talk to its wife and ask its questions, and then it'll sit down and have a dinner and really think about if it should report the question, and then it'll report it to the police. And what's going to end up happening is the NPC is going to see you, and then there's going to be go to the nearest location for reporting and report crime. Like, that's what's going to happen. Like, I love you, Chris, but I know this is not real. Yeah, so will you still get a crime stat? Yes, but it won't be a crime stat that you see in little, like, flashing, like, 5 stars. It'll just be a reputation thing where you won't know that you're wanted because you don't know if anyone saw you or not. So you have to, the way you know is if you have in a journal, or you remember, because I want a moment. This is my big thing. It's like, I want a moment where I'm wanted in a system, and someone says, "Come meet me in the system because we need to do an event or something like that." And I go into the system and I sit down. We stop off at like the bar because we were waiting for people to show up, and then some bounty hunters. Gabs walks in with guns and starts trying to shoot me, and I'm like, "Oh right, I'm wanted in this system. I gotta get out of here," that kind of thing. So.
Oh, that will be cool. Hiding in other systems.
Yeah.
FPS bounty missions.
Yeah. Being able to drag people.
That means you're in a whole nother spectrum of what is available to us in terms of gameplay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just kill the witness. Yes.
Yeah, fair enough. What witness?
Yeah. Let me see.
Nothing happened here.
All right, next question comes from Space Tomato Gaming, who asks, best case scenario, which gameplay features are you thinking we'll see this year? We'll start with you, Fish, on this one. Best case scenario. Absolutely best case scenario, what are we going to see?
I'm going to go with salvage and cargo refactor. Now, I think they're still going to get pushed. But I think you'll see them this year.
Okay. Gabs, what things do you think we're going to see this year?
I have high hopes for server meshing.
Okay.
I feel like CIG is way closer than people think. I mean, it's not gonna be the server meshing everyone's hoping for, but like because people talked about the shards, you know. But I think maybe by the end of the year we're actually gonna get it. Hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, more exploration will be cool.
What do I think? Best case scenario, salvage, cargo refactor, NPC, like straight up bounty missions where you have to like capture somebody and bring them back in. Like that whole loop being done, or that whole section being done. And everything being moved over to dynamic economy, so it's the quanta is generating all the missions and not just random or arbitrary. That's, I think, best case scenario is that comes in. Do I think all of that's going to happen? No, but that is like based off where CIG is now and where they want to be. That is definitely something they could do this year if the stars aligned. It's just, you know. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Like, there's ideals and then there's reality, and that's not reality. But, yeah, as people are saying in chat, like this, like a hostage mission. Like I was saying before the stream, one of the big things is ArcCorp has always had this idea of having missions and like having some sort of hostage situation where you have to like land on the roof of a building in ArcCorp and then go through the building and clear it out and try to rescue hostages is a pretty cool idea. So.
Wait. Can I die hard through a window? Because that'd be amazing.
I mean, this is CIG. I'm sure somebody at CIG was like, break the windows, make breakable windows. Let's go through this. Yeah. Like rappel down and break through windows and do crazy stuff, you know. All right. Next question comes from One Wheeled Odin, who asks, what are some key things CIG could do to improve the new player experience? Gabs, let's go with you since you're the newest player. What do you think is the key thing to help newer players get into the game?
It's hard.
What would have made your experience easier when you were playing the game?
I guess just add like a little tutorial before you actually get into the game. You know, there's a few games that have some tutorials to teach you what keys you need the most, you know. So it will be like kind of cool. Like before you have access to the game, you have to pass the tutorial, and it's like, okay, press Y to get up, you know, or press F to like interact with everything, you know. Like once you get up, like go down the elevator, blah blah, get on your ship, like you jump, you know, and like you have like instructions like on the screen, you know, like press R to start your ship, you know, press F11 and call at the station to open the doors, you know, and that will be cool. And like once you leave, like you can access the full game or something. Maybe, I don't know, it's kind of hard, but I mean, I guess like a really small tutorial with just the basics will be kind of nice.
So I know chat, and I already know, I can feel the YouTube comments. Someone's being like, "We already had that." Yes, we did have an YouTube a tutorial that broke, and no one liked it. It was good, but it sucked after a while. But I do think there's something to be said. I agree with Gabs on this one. A place where death doesn't sting, because the biggest problem about Star Citizen, I think currently, is that the game is not kind. The game will chew you up and spit you out and it tells you nothing. It does not hold your hand. It just says, good luck, don't die. Even if the game is working perfectly and you have no bugs, you'll still die a lot just because you don't know what you're doing. So having an area that's just like, these are the controls, W, A, S, and D, Y, R, blah, 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 which will just, you can map to whatever you want. So it'll just pop up the or it's like, use this to start. But in an area that's like, if you die, you don't have to start all the way back at the hab or the like, it just loads you up to the last place you were until you get to get from point A to point B. That's the mission, and then it'll change. Like something like that would go a long way to helping people get acclimated without having to worry about it breaking down the line. So
yeah, like honestly, for like with 15 minutes of just like the basic keys on the screen, with what you have to do, that's it. Because let's be honest, a lot of people don't read guides. A lot of people don't want to go through YouTube videos. They just want to play the game, And then they go into the game and they are like, oh, damn, like, what do I do? This is a really complicated game, So yeah, like just having like a small tutorial, like before the whole experience will be kind of nice. Like, oh, now like you have to go buy a medical gun here, And like you have like the signs like to go to the medical center or something. You get a gun and you get to heal like an NPC or something, and that's it. Like just the very basics. I feel like it will make a difference for new players.
Yeah. What do you think, JFish? What would you do to improve the new player experience?
I mean, so they kind of have something that they could improve upon, which is those little tip prompts that pop up for you. Mm-hmm. But I mean, again, it goes back to something I said before, where unless you literally make an entire level that you're perpetually going to be expanding upon, that like, okay, now you have to go to this is what an ASOP terminal looks like. This is where you go to get your ship. This is a medical spot. This is where you go to get your meds, so on and so forth. It's perpetually going to be changing. Again, you're at the point in the game where everything is perpetually changing. So if they try to do a tutorial like that, to where you had an intro section, it's going to be obsolete and perpetually going to be fixed upon, and then it's going to be expanded upon and then delayed. It's going to make things go and take even longer to finish. Outside of really being like, I mean, yeah, I guess they could kind of walk you through, but it's going to be different no matter where you go, because if you start at Area 18, it's going to look different than if you start at Orison, or if you start at Lorville, or you start at New Babbage. Outside of the prompts they give you right now, you're playing an alpha. You're not playing something that's got a tutorial to hold your hand. It's just a giant kick in the sack. That's what it is. As a new player, honestly, that's what it is. You need to rely on the community. You need to ask questions. And the glorious thing about the Star Citizen community is it's incredibly kind and helpful.
Yeah, everyone's amazing.
I think, based off the question, I think that was the answer. I think the answer is still tutorial, but I also understand that that's not necessarily feasible. It'd be nice to have it. I still think that there's a way you could do a tutorial where it's just like effectively a like Lorville, but with steps, and like you have a mission, and your mission is go from space, pick up a box, put it into your ship, go from space to the station, and drop off the box. It's just like a mission loop, and then you just update that as it goes, and with some on-screen prompts, and then eventually build a full detailed tutorial. But something like that, which is its own instance where death doesn't hurt as much, would go a long way to improving people's experiences, and it's worth the effort. I think, even if it was wasted effort, I think it would be worth the effort to improve the experience of new players now. So
I mean, I don't disagree. Again, that's why I tell new players, go do box missions.
Yeah,
box missions are your greatest tutorial. You're going to learn how to take off. You're going to land. You're going to experience different places in the verse. That, to me, like a box mission, the delivery mission, is your tutorial.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's also, we've got plenty of people who are saying, like, that's where content creator tutorials come in. Yeah, a lot of people do that, which is, I know Tomato and Brooks, every patch they do a new one. So does Board Gamer and Super Mac Brothers, and lots of people do them. So
Yeah.
Morph, I think, does it as well. So, but yeah. All right, let's go to the next question from Aimless, who asks, currently Star Citizen ship combat is being balanced for light fighter experience. Will it be possible in the future for a broader ship combat experience? And what might that look like? Let's start with you, Gabs, in this one, since you're the big one into combat more often than probably either of us.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Currently, Star Citizen ship combat is being balanced for the light fighter experience. Will it be possible? Will it be possible in the future for a broader ship combat experience, and what might that look like?
I think Bergs did a 20 hammerhead fight one day. So he grabbed a bunch of viewers and stuff, and they have like a bunch of hammerheads in space, and they were fighting. So I mean, that's really cool. I honestly don't know much about big ships, because as a PvPer, I just grab like the really small ships, like the Arrow, the Gladius, like maybe the Hurricane. I haven't seen a lot of big ship combats, but it will be really cool just to see like a full hammerhead fight another full hammerhead. I don't know how honestly.
Okay.
It's a hard question. I don't know how to answer this.
JFish, what do you think?
Depends on server stability.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. If you tried to get a bunch of people in big ships all in the same area, I think you're going to run into a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Eventually, sure. Right now, no.
I'll say that as well. I don't like the Star Citizen is being balanced for the game, for the ships it has now. And there are ships that are really good. Like Hammerheads will delete you if you get too close. If you have a decently crewed Hammerhead and you get too close, no ship will stop. Nothing will survive that, especially if they're good at focusing fire, because the amount of fire you can put down and the size of the weapons it carries is disgusting. But it has
also,
go ahead.
Yeah, there's a big issue with server desync. Like until they fix that, like there's not gonna be a lot of big ships combat, because you can easily ram into each other, and it's gonna be a lot of chaos. The server is gonna be super laggy. It's gonna be kind of hard to do that.
And again, we're back to server meshing.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we hope, at least, is going to eliminate some of those issues.
Yeah. And let's be clear, I don't think server meshing is going to fix the problem of desync. It will.
It's not going to be the end all be all.
It'll improve it, I think, but I think the actual fixing is going to require CIG to go into and monkey around with the code and kind of rework some of their own systems to make it work better. But,
To me, it's the first step.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and that's what it's the first step to get this game to where we all hope it will eventually be.
Yeah. So yeah, but I agree. I think so. The answer is, hold on. The answer is we are just waiting for stuff to be put in the game, stuff to be fixed. We have to wait for that stuff to get added before we can actually do anything. So
yeah, it's way too early into the game to talk about that.
Do you tap your microphone real quickly there, JFish? Because I can hear everything. I can hear everything in your background right now.
Yeah. Again, I literally turned off anything and everything in terms of the filters.
Yeah.
For
it's okay. You're good now.
Discord.
I'm just gonna mute you for now, and I'll unmute you when it comes in. All right. All right. Centurion asks, can we expect industrial trains on planets, underwater cities, mining under the sea? Question mark. JFish, let's hear your thoughts on this. Do you think we're going to see trains, industrial trains, and underwater cities and such?
I hope so. I've talked about this before. I'd love the idea of us landing on an ocean. You know, you got a floating pad, you store your ship, and then you go down below in some kind of subterranean or subsurface city. That would be absolutely amazing. I'd love it.
Okay. Gabs, what do you think? Do you think we're going to expect trains and on the planets and stuff like that, or maybe underwater cities or mining under the sea?
I hope we do. That would be like super, super cool. And like we will need like a specific gear, you know, to go down to that city. It will be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I could see all those things happening. I don't think we're going to see it until after server meshing, but like, we keep coming back to it. But I think the honest to God answer is a lot of what CIG wants to do is bottlenecked by persistence, quanta, Gen 12 refactor, and server meshing. And all three of those, or all four of those, should be addressed or started to work on or completed sometime this year. So that's why this year is looking like a very tumultuous year for Star Citizen, for good and for bad. You know, it's exciting and scary. Did I mute JFish on accident entirely?
It's okay.
Oh, no, you're here. You're good. You're good. Okay.
It's okay.
I can hear you. Oh.
I just enjoyed my audio as being all funky.
Yeah. All right. Next question comes from Gin and Tonic, who asks, "What happened to Vehicle 4? It got pushed." It's actually in the roadmap update or the monthly report. They mentioned the vehicle is done. It's completely ready. It might be. Or are you talking? I don't know. Gin and Tonic, what are you talking about? Oh no, Gin and Tonic's talking about the refinery.
I was going to say, if it's Jenin, he's definitely talking about the refinery.
The refinery. Yeah. What happened to it? I have no idea. I think it's waiting for the gameplay. That's about it. Let's move right on because we got a couple more. Ionic Gecko asks, do you think we will see news alerts that contain information about current changes in your current star system, sort of like how the journal works now? Could we see a number of pirate attacks in the past hour? Yeah, I could see something like that. They do it already, like the lockdown, the Ninetales lockdown. You get random messages like, attention, Stanton residents and visitors and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, why not? What do you think, Gabs? Do you think we're going to see alerts? Do you think we could see news alerts?
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I think it's going to happen for sure.
JFish?
Soon TM.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what I can boil that down to. It's soon TM.
Yep. I think it's something that they want to do. But Darth Sebius asks, if you could take any ship from any other sci-fi franchise and add it to Star Citizen, what would it be and why? Let's start with Gabs on this because I already know the answer.
X-Wing. TIE Fighter.
There we go.
The Millennium Falcon. Okay, I'm gonna
yeah, I got you. The Millennium Falcon.
No freaking clue. I get read about this all the time.
Uh-huh.
In terms of like sci-fi, I've watched a little bit of The Expanse.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen all the Star Wars. Other than that, nope. No freaking idea. So, no idea.
I know a lot of people will say like the Serenity, the Firefly. I personally would have to say, I was blanking on it. I had it in my brain and then I lost it because it's like, oh yeah, it's like I wouldn't say the Serenity, but like different. There we go. The Bebop from Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, that's a good one.
just because I like its functionality, the fact that it can hold 2 snub fighters or 2 small fighters on it, and then also is like its own ship and it can land in the ocean. I love the style. I love the concept. I love it. So yeah, or like the great Fox from Star Fox. That one is good as well. I like that. So where are the mechs? Well, that's ships, not mechs. I'm not going to pull out the white base from Gundam. Not yet. All right. Last question comes from Gin and Tonic, who asks, do you think people will be disappointed when they realize that the Corsair isn't actually an exploration ship? No, but I do think people are going to be confused. They are already confused. Fun story. I was on Spectrum. I don't go on Spectrum often, but I went to the Spectrum chat at one point, and someone mentioned that they're going to need to change the Corsair because it's got too many guns for an explorer ship.
Sounds like the best kind of explorer ship.
And
Well, yeah, I will use it.
and someone was people in chat. Then the chat were trying to tell them it's not an explorer ship. But it says on this on the website that it's an exploration ship. Why does an exploration ship need so many guns? And I'm like, oh my god, they got him. Drake got him. Drake just. They just hook, line, and sinker this poor man into like it's totally an exploration ship. It's like it's totally broken. It's gonna upset everything. It's like, okay, you know. It's a dangerous world out there, man. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think people will be exploited because I do think it's going to be an exploration ship. It is going to be an exploration ship, like a legitimate exploration ship, just like the Cutlass is a legitimate light hauler and a militia ship. It's also a pirate ship. It also does stuff for piracy. That's the same thing with Corsair. It's going to be a legitimate competitor to the Constellation. It's just also going to kick teeth in like its job because it is. So I don't know. I think that's. I don't know. What do y'all think, JFish?
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna be able to go far, and then as long as you're on my nose, I am going to frack your day because I'm gonna go and explore things. And by explore things, I mean your wreckage. That's what that ship is for.
Yeah.
Okay. I can go far. I can blow things up.
Gabs, I know you've just seen it just now, but like, do you think people are going to be upset, or do you think it's going to be a good explorer?
I mean, people are always upset about everything.
You're not wrong.
We can talk about the Ion, and honestly, I'm kind of upset about the nerf, but let's not get into that.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think it's gonna be good because I was actually thinking about that because I wanna explore more. I don't go to the ground too often, but I was like, okay, like what happens if someone tries to fight me? You know, like if I go like into like a really chill ship, like, or if I go into my Gladius and I find, for example, some cargo while I explore or something, like I'm not gonna be able to use my Gladius, you know? So maybe this is like the perfect ship. Like if you go explore and like you need to fight some people, you pew them, you kill them, and then you continue exploring, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it looks interesting. I actually kind of like it. Like I was looking at it more, and it's not that bad. Like,
one of us. It's
Again,
JFish,
someone who just despises Drake in and everything. Yeah, I love the Corsair. Give it to me, please. I own one. It's the one Drake ship I'm willing to own. Give me the Corsair.
I love it. I'll just say that there are many of us. We are a cult, but it is great. I actually think there's more people who are secretly happy and excited about the Corsair than the Ben and Merchantman. That's saying a lot because the Ben and Merchantman is got all fans.
That might be pushing it a little bit. Might be pushing it just a little bit.
I think the Corsair is going to get a ton of hype when it comes out. I think the Ben and Merchantman is too, but I think the Corsair is going to burgeon on the Carrack.
I was going to say, do you think it's going to beat out the Carrack?
I think we're going to see a lot of crying about it because of the Carrack. Because it's like it's like the Carrack but without a respawn bed, and you know it's got everything you want from it, and it can kill a Carrack, you know, or something like that.
There's always crying. All right,
Yeah.
just go to Spectrum, and there will be people just shedding tears like it's nobody's business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Carrick killer, literally.
Oh,
It kills
okay.
Carricks.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it literally will blow up a Carrick.
Yeah.
Especially if you get on its nose, because what the hell's a Carrick going to do at that point?
Because what is it, like 3 size 5s? Or like size 6s or something like that? It has insane
4
firepower.
size 5s and like
Yeah.
2 size 4s, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. It's a disgusting amount of firepower going
Yeah.
forward. You get on its rear or
It's dead.
above or below, and it's SOL. But
Yeah.
if you got a good pilot and you keep on its nose, good night.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight at the Astropub. That was the last little bit of the questions. Please do follow Missgabiz and JFishmedia on their socials. Go, watch their streams and such. And thank you for watching us as always. And like I say every time, I hope to see you someday in the black. Later, y'all.
Thank you, Paul, for the invite.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
having me.